All right, Shalom Yasharallah, Shalom Israel. Before we go any further within this lesson, I want to open up by giving all praises, honor, and glory with infinite blessings unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachaha, Kodash. And I also want to give double honors to our beloved elder bishops and to the other apostles of Great Millstone that teach well and that rule well, with much blessings and salutations going out into the hopeful elect. Wafi Aqua that are tuning in, and always into the brethren laboring within this truth, truthfully and sincerely, in the name of Yahweh Shema Shai, Yahweh Shema Shai Barakatham, unto you and to your households within these evil days, these evil times in which we are surely living in. All right, the end is made manifest, and as these days do go on, prophecy is going to always progress. All right, and so right here we have this short clip provided by the brother GMS Lions in Rome. So like Lions in Rome on fire. All right, in which very edifying brother. So we're just gonna use this clip. And before we even roll it, I just want to say that this is used for educational purposes only. Okay, not making any money off of this. The Copyright Act from 1907, or this is only used for prophetic, all right, and educational purposes only. All right, biblical purposes. Okay, but
First of all, I want to
here it
tell
is.
the Israeli government and the Israeli leaders that the moment Israel uses a nuclear warhead against any other country, including against Iran, it will be the demise of Israel as a country, as a state. And I want the United States and Israel to go back and search their soul, and they should never be allowed to launch another war of aggression against any other country, including against Iran.
And before this clip even proceeds, I just want to mention that all right, what we seeing right now, man, between these nations involved in this Iranian, Israeli, American war, which is known as World War III. And if you did not know, by the way, it's biblical prophecy. All right, that you see that the tension is there. All right, you see the frustration, the anger, you see the threats that are being made between these other nations. All right, these world leaders. All right, Putin, um, Donald J. Trump, Netanyahu. These are modern kings in which they not playing, man. All right, they not messing around. In which is ultimately it's the Heavenly Father Yahweh that has put in that spirit upon these leaders of these nations to move to where they're at war. All right, and that they're going to continue to escalate it to a point of nuclear war. All right, and every day as we see the prophets, the true men of Yahweh Shema Shai, starting with our elders and apostles of Great Millstone and the men on down, bringing out these words which are faithful and true concerning these events and these things that are taking place around the world, known as prophecy. All right, we see more and more that, hey, these men were right. Okay, now nuclear war doesn't seem so far-fetched. Now World War III doesn't seem so far-fetched. Okay, and also the rest of these prophetic events that are going to take place are leading off of this just major event known as World War III. These other events that are about to happen. It don't seem so far-fetched now, does it? All right, because ultimately it's Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, all right, bringing forth or bringing to pass the words, all right, bringing to pass the end and making good upon his word. All right, so let's actually grab this precept real quick And I mean, it's a lot in my mind right now. All right, so let's grab Second Ezra real quick, because I do want to speak on the book of Ezra. All right, because this is where we are at. So Second Ezra chapter 9, and starting at let's make it quick, because we might have a little bit more to grab. So Second Ezra chapter 9. All right, and might as well start at 1, man. Second Ezra chapter 9 and 1, it says, he answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself. All right. And how are we going to be able to measure the times, to be able to measure the seasons? All right. How are you going to measure the times? All right. That we're living in, man, or the times to come. You're going to do it by using these holy scriptures, man. All right. Using the Bible. Okay. And it says, measure thou the time diligently in itself. Diligently. So constantly. All right. Preparing and watching and being on it. All right. Because each day and every day, all right, prophecy is moving forward and being fulfilled. All right. It might be the book of Ezra, but it tells you how greater evils, all right, that's taking place here on this earth shall happen hereafter. Let's actually grab that real quick. Greater evils, man, and the things that people are seeing taking place from the bombings, the attacks that are happening between Iran and Israel. Okay, gas shortages, power outages in countries. All right, people dying. All right, of famine and things of that sort. These are all things that revolve around the scriptures, man, which is known as these biblical prophecies. So the point is, 2 Ezra chapter 14 and verse 16. It says, for yet greater evils, okay, for yet greater evils, man, and greater, all right, meaning unmeasurable, unnumerable, all right, it's too much to bear, something that you can't contain. So the evils that are about to take place here on this earth, in which, it's a threshold, okay, that it's going to constantly keep rising, man, until ultimately the return of our Lord. But the point being is that more evils, all right, bad times. People are complaining over here in the states. All right, if they're complaining in the states, man, how much more these third world countries, how much more these other countries that doesn't have the privileges and that don't have the accessibility to the wants and the needs. Because really, man, Babylon the Great, aka America, is powered off of the lust of the flesh, not necessity, but the things of the wants. All right, but over there in certain places, these third world countries, okay, and these countries that are like more so less fortunate. All right, so to say, these countries are powered off of necessity, things like like electricity, the food, the water, things of that sort. All right, but how much more over here in America, man, where people are spoiled. All right, they have that Edomite pride. All right, but point is, for yet greater evils than those which thou hast seen happen shall be done hereafter. So basically, man, the Lord is saying you haven't seen anything yet, man, because the things that are taking place around the world are only going to progress to get worse and worse. All right, and this thing hasn't even hit America yet, Babylon the Great yet. Okay, these prophecies haven't even, you know, truly to turn up on this place yet, man, because people feel as if, you know, they're going through it because of the gas prices, you know, that's going up. Okay, the cost of living is going up as well, the rent. All right, you know, the shortages on jobs, so it's harder to, you know, make a honest so-called, you know, so-called honest living. All right, and things of these sorts. So we see where these things are going to turn into, man. All right, and which is going to only lead to Jacob's trouble, all right, being multiplied, amplified on beast mode. Okay, all right. Verse 17 is actually good as well too. It says, "For look how much the world shall be weaker through age." Yeah, man. The world being weaker through age. Why? Starting with Esau, Edom being at the forefront. Okay, the cause, the reason of why this world is weak. All right, and when I say world, it's going into the world as in general, man. All right, why the atmosphere is messed up, the air is fucked up. All right, while the minds of the people are destroyed, there is no morals. Okay, there's no integrity. Okay, and only selfishness, man, because the wicked, known as Esau, Edom, these top banking elite families, all right, and the rest of you damn so-called white men, women, and children, you fucking Edomites, man, y'all destroyed the world, man. Y'all destroyed this place, man. Okay, and you're constantly doing it to fill your belly, but it's going to be to no avail, man. But the whole point is, the world has gotten weaker through age. So this goes into the people. All right, this goes into the world itself. All right, through the devastation and deforestation and destruction that Edom has caused into the world, and also the minds of those that dwell on this place, man, to where they have fully submitted themselves over to this man, this mortal. All right, and soon they're going to ultimately be had in derision from this devil, man. Okay, and it says, so much the more shall evils increase. Yeah, because once these evil days do come, all right, and there's a lack of food, lack of famine. I mean, not a lack of famine, a lack of food, which is a famine, the lack of necessity, things needed to survive. Okay, and they're not so easily accessible. Edom is going to, well, these times are going to, all right, these times are going to either make you or going to break you, man. You know, and a lot of people are not built off these times, man. They're not ready for these things because these type of events, I never came across their mind. You know, because they dwelt so carelessly in America. Their hope was this place. So their hope was misplaced within this devil, man. And now he's gonna have these people in derision, man. All right. So let me finish this off. All right, and it says, so much the more shall evil increase upon them that dwell therein. Yeah. And who dwells therein? It's the people. It's talking about the inhabitants. So Revelation chapter 12 and verse 12. It's the perfect. All right, and I thought I was gonna go into, I mean, you know, Lord, we can still grab it. I mean, you know, it's how the spirit goes. But so the book of Revelation, chapter 12 and verse 12, it says, therefore rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. All right, and as we always bring this out, man, it's going into the believers. All right, going into the Akim, you know, for those who truly and sincerely turn back to the true living, mighty, living power, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, man. All right, which Yahweh being the Heavenly Father's true name, and Yahweh Shai being the only begotten Son of the Heavenly Father, man, in whom you people of this world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. But the point is, all right, this is the perfect time to rejoice, because now we see our power, the power of Israel, okay, working for us, all right, work, really more so working. I wouldn't say working for us, because we the servants, man. We serve the Lord, man. You know what I'm saying? But the point is, working in our favor, man. All right, and making good on His word. All right. So this is the perfect time to rejoice, because we understand what's going on and what's taking place. We understand the backstory. You know, we not just pulling up and as things taking place, and we like, damn, what's going on? Like, what they got going on? No, man, we know what's taking place, man. All right, and we've been here through it all, through the Spirit and power of the Lord. So it says, therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea. So woe, that 3-letter word WOE, goes into destruction. It means destruction. It means death. All right. And to who? To the inhabitants of the earth. All right. All right. And who inhabits the earth? The people, man. All right. Anybody else? You know what I'm saying? We are the inhabitants. All right. But this is really going more so into those who truly reside in has made this place, all right, ruled by the wicked, their rest, their refuge. All right, and especially over here in Babylon the Great, man, America, which is spiritually known as Sodom and Egypt. Okay, a wicked place that the Lord is about to destroy. So it says destruction and calamity, all right? Because that's what woe goes into, destruction, you know? Death to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea. For the devil is come down unto you. And we know what this devil is, man. It's getting to the point where even you Edomites, so-called white men, all right? These heathens already know who the hell Jacob and Esau is, man. The only people who don't is you Jakes, all right? And it's getting to the point where Edom himself is understanding and coming to the clarity that the so-called white man, woman, and child are the wicked that the Bible speaks of, man. You know, they are the biblical Edomites. All right? And the physical counterpart of the spiritual demon Satan. Because these devils are known as the deceivers. It says, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. And this is why we seeing, all right, these top elites, these banking families pushing Trump around like that, man. This is why we're seeing, all right, the president of Mexico, you know, taking out and pushing out orders to make the, you know, the money, the currency, you know, over there digital, because really that's where it's all going to go towards, man. You know, and that's the whole point. All right. So let's see if actually, can we pull this up real quick? Let's see if we can pull this out real quick, man. It says, president. Let's go. Digital. Oops, lock you. Digital. Let me see. So let's just grab this AI overview real quick, or we can actually pull it from the article itself. In which we went into this before, but this just goes to show you that there is a gradual, you know, change that, you know, these world leaders are leaning towards, and it's because this is the plans of these elites, all right? Those who in which the earth was given unto, as Job 9 verse 24 tells you. All right, these top banking elite families, man. So it says, looking to an all-digital future, Sheinbaum plans to eliminate cash at the pump and the toll booth. All right, and these are just hey man, that's something little. And this devil's very slick and subtle, man, because the pump and the toll booth, these are things that everybody uses, man. All right. But it says, for how long will your cash be good at the pump? According to President Sheinbaum's impetuous timetable, digital payments at gasoline stations will be mandatory before the current year is up. Ooh. As part of our goal of digitizing the Mexican economy. All right, well, it's correct, all right. It says President Claudia Sheinbaum said on Thursday that cash payments at gas stations and highway toll booths will be eliminated starting this year. Sheinbaum said her administration is working with the banking sector. Come on, man. These top banking elite families, bro. Alright, he's not slick. Alright. Sector to standardize. So standardize, make it something of the norm, Make it as the new way of transactions, basically. In these particular parts of being the tolls and the pump, but it's only going to trickle down to an everyday type of a situation, man, to where you're going to start paying digital, everywhere, bro. Shit, man. Even some people pay, majority of people pay their bills, digitally, man. So, you know what I'm saying? But let's look this up. Ooh, standardize. It says systematize. So it says standardize, cause something to conform to a standard. All right, and this is what this devil is doing. It says digitize payment procedures nationwide to promote their use, and especially with Banco de Bienestar to facilitate digital payment for all Mexicans. Our goal this year is to make digital payments of gasoline and tolls mandatory. The president said this will allow us to move forward with the digital. Bro, they not even hiding this shit no more. They just putting in your face. All right, it says, in quotes, this will allow us to move forward with the digitization of the country through other schemes. Bro, come on. Other schemes. Yeah. In which, what's going to be the ultimate scheme, man? That Karak. All right, that RFID microchip, which is known as the mark of the beast. And you can see right now how them alone simply, digitizing the way of you getting gas, okay, or these toll booths, in which, bro, even all that alone, bro, that just goes into Ezra. All right, a man should desire to go into a city and should not be able to. How are you going to want to leave certain situation or go somewhere, all right, if you can't even pay for the gas? If you can't even pay at the toll, if you can't even leave that bitch. You know what I'm saying? So let me grab that, man, because, hey, the Lord is doing his thing. All right? Yahweh Shema Shai is snapping, man. All right? And everything, all right, we're seeing is only going to forward, all right, us getting the heck up on out of here, bro. Like, I know Jake's still wishing, and some people still hoping he's down, especially Edom. Oh, Edom's hoping like hell, like, that his kingdom don't fall, but it's too late, man. All right, because everything that he's doing, that they're doing, is only going to bring them closer, all right, to their downfall, man. All right, so let's grab that. Zaire. Second Ezra chapter 15 and verse 14. All right. Once again, so the Lord is basically setting the tone for these days, these end times, where it goes into woe to the world and them that dwell therein. So there it goes once again. All right. So destruction and death unto the people that dwell on the world, man. Okay. Which is these people, man, that give their trust, their being, all right, into this world, because it's going to come to a point to where Edom is going to have this shit on lock, and which he's already, progressing forward into it through the whole AI infrastructure. All right, the so-called 6G movement or race. You can go on the government, the U.S. government alone, and look it up. All right, it tells you what they want to do, man. So, hey, man, if you get, hey, you've been warned, man. So there's no excuse. The point is, verse 15, for the sword in their destruction draweth nigh. Yeah, the sword. Who's the sword? It's this damn devil, the wicked. What did our King David, the mighty warrior David, say? He said, hide me from the wicked. All right. Oh, Yahweh Bashim Shai. All right. Because he knew, and now we know, all right, that the Lord's sword is the wicked. It's this government. It's these devils, man. All right. And this is why the scriptures keep going to say, woe unto the world. All right. Because these devils are they own it. All right. And they came back and they're going to show their full true nature of who they are. So Psalms chapter 64, all right, in verse 1, it says, to the chief musician, a psalm of David. The water. It says, hear my voice, O Yahweh. In my prayer, preserve my life from the fear of the enemy. And if you brothers don't know, sisters don't know, new viewers don't know, let's get this word preserve. I don't want you guys to be confused. All right. But preserve means to keep safe or free from harm. All right. So to keep safe or free from harm. Okay. It says act as to ensure that something does not occur. All right. It says to keep preserved, maintain, keep in a certain quality, state, or condition. Yeah, man. Not wanting to get fucked up or messed up, man. All right. Verse 2 says, hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked. And we know who the secret counsel of the wicked is, man. It's these elites, these top bacon families, man, which go back to the lineage of Esau, Edom. Okay, these Amalekites, man. All right, Amalek. The so-called shadow band government, those you don't see, but they're controlling the world. They're in control of the world, man. They have the resources, they have the assets, they have the money. Okay, they own the people. Like, bro, when Job 9:24 says what it says, it means what it says, man. All right, but it says, hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity. Yeah, because these people are not good. All right, they're far from good. All right, they're the wicked. All right, they're far from righteous. And they work evil. They work sin, man. All right. That's why you see a lot of death that's taking place around the world, man. Even this war, going into this war, man. All right. This is a baker's war, bro. They started this, man. To do what? To bring in order out of chaos, man. Which is ultimately going to be the way by that Karagma, man. That RFID microchip, which is known as the mark of the beast. And which, if you take that, man, you will be destroyed. All right, there is a divine judgment from the heavenly host. All right, well, that will fall upon your head or any of them, anybody that receives of that MOTB, man. All right, but it says, Verse 3, who wet their tongue like a sword and bend their bows, shoot their arrows, even bitter words. All right. Let me see. Let me see. Is it? All right. Sword. Good. Salaki. Hey, that was good though. That's the spirit though. I ain't gonna cap. I thought that was in, but here it is. Psalms chapter 17 and verse 13. It says, "Arise, O Yahweh, disappoint him, cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword." Yeah, these Edomites, man. All right, and the whole point of them doing this and what they're pushing for this system is so they can group up and they can basically enslave all mankind, all living beings, all creation, so they think they could be like the Heavenly Father, bro. Verse 14 says, "From men which are thy hand." Which are thy hand. Yeah, because the Lord is in control of these people, man. In which he's in control of everybody. He's in control of the whole show. But it says, "O Lord Yahweh, from men of the world, which have their portion in this life." Yep. Because they control everything. They literally control everything. The music industry, entertainment, buildings, homes. Okay, the stock market, the economy, the businesses. They own everything. Hollywood, all of it. You know, your favorite clothing brand, or they own it all, man. You know, it all goes back to these devils. Okay, and that's why it says they have their portion in this life, because now is their time to roll. But soon, Yahweh Shai, all right, is going to take these devils out. And it says, "In whose belly thou fillest with thy hid treasure, they are full of children, and leave the rest of their substance to their babes." Yeah, and that's how they do it. You know what I'm saying? And this is why they moving the way they're moving, in hopes that they can leave, all right, the minion, all right, to these their offsprings, man, like these damn technocrats, man, these Elon Musk, Mark Zucker, all these other these weirdos, man, these weird ass Edomites, man. Which I believe through the spirit, they offsprings of these elite families, man. You know, they're next up in line to, which they're imagining the vain thing, but their whole thing is that they're next up in line to rule over the world in wickedness. You know, that shit gonna fail though. You know what I'm saying? Shit trash. Man, Lord ain't fucking with that shit. Damn, how many minutes? Let's see. So let's see if we can grab this real quick.
Including against Iran, it will be the demise of Israel as a country, as a state. And I want the United States and Israel to go back and search their soul, and they should never be allowed to launch another war of aggression against any other country, including against Iran. And Israel should never pretend that they have the truth. They have developed nuclear weapons. There are reports that on quite a few occasions they threatened to use nuclear war against other countries. They have no right to demand any other country, not only in the Middle East, but anywhere in the world, not to develop nuclear weapons, because they violated the rules first. And they now possess nuclear weapons. They threaten to use nuclear weapons. I think eventually, as you mentioned, when we reach step 2 or step 3, We need to create a situation where there will be no nuclear weapon at all by any country in the Middle East. That probably will be a better Middle East. It will contribute to real peace and stability.
Yeah, which Yahweh Shai is about to bring that real peace and stability, man. All right, not through these heathens, okay? Not through Moab or Ammon or Amalek, or Israel. Not the Chinese, the Arab, not the Persians, the Iranians, or the Russians, man. But Yahweh Shai. All right, and he's talking hot shit, but I don't want to say he's hot shit, but he's speaking facts. To a certain extent, because soon Israel, those over there occupying the land of the true Israelites, which is going to the Judah, which is going to the so-called Negro, Latino, Native American men, women, and children. Those people occupying the land, man, they're gonna get from around there, bro. The Lord's gonna destroy that land, in which He's already doing it. But soon it's gonna be by the way of thermal nuclear destruction, bro. And the wicked being Esau, Edom. So that goes into bro. All these fucking Edomites, man, are gonna be put out of
and
power, bro.
Peaceful coexistence between and among countries in the Middle East. I want to tell the Israeli government and the Israeli leaders, if Israel dares to use a nuclear warhead against other country, it will ironically accelerate the whole process of other countries in that part of the world try to build a nuclear bomb. And eventually there will be a huge explosive growth of nuclear weapons in that part of the world, and eventually it probably will cause the destruction of the whole region as, for example, a livable environment for hundreds of millions of people. There are different...
In which that's what's going to take place, man. In which I originally wanted to touch on that, but let the spirit flow to where we went into that. So we went into what's about to come, man. All right, because before that ultimate thermonuclear destruction comes, the MLTB is gonna come. All right, the mass implementation of the mark of the beast is gonna come to the world before the Lord destroys Babylon the Great, aka America. All right, in the land of Israel. All right, over there, man. So grab this, all right? Because he made a very perfect point, a good point within this video. Speaking of, if missiles were to fly, them big missiles was to fly. All right, this will be the end of the small hat nation, bro. Which regardless, them missiles gonna fly. Either they send them or not. All right, the missiles gonna fly regardless. So I'm gonna grab this. The book of Revelation, chapter 12. Oh, actually chapter 9. I think it's Revelation chapter 11, verse 13. Nah. Sheesh. Was it 13? Salaki. It's right here. The book of Revelation, chapter 13, and verse 10. I'm going to start at verse 9. It says, if any man have an ear, let him hear. It says, he that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity, man. And that's where you really, man, starting with the so-called white man, Esau, Edom, that's where you're going. This is where you're going. All right. And also the rest of you nations, man, that follow right after this damn devil, man, had the children of Israel under subjection. oppressed us, man, sold us to the rest of these nations. You're going into captivity. That is your future in the kingdom of heaven. All right, serving the Lord's chosen people, the Israelites. All right. It says, he that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. And we understand who pursued us with the sword, who's killed us with the sword, who couldn't put their sword down. All right. After coming over here to the so-called Americas, all right, raped and destroyed the natives, man, almost to the point of extinction. You know? So that nation of people and that lineage, starting with, from the forefathers, even down to the children, all right, will be punished. All right? And ultimately going to be punished, man, by the way of destruction, nuclear destruction, man. All right, which is that ultimate sword. It says, here is the patience and the faith of the saints. All right, and that's just what happens, man. The Lord is going to use the sword that you've been putting on us, but he's going to amplify that hope, man. All right, and ultimately he's already done it. By the way, these thermonuclear missiles, you know what I'm saying? So y'all time coming, man. Everything that's taking place is for the destruction of the wicked. You know, Esau, Edom, the same people that the Lord has built, for the day of evil. All right, that evil thought, that's the day of evil. When these nations are going to shoot these thermonuclear destructive missiles over to America, all right, in Israel, man, to destroy this bitch off the face of the earth, man. And it says, here is the patience and the faith of the saints, and this is what we're waiting on, bro. All right, this is what we're constantly watching and seeing, what's about to take place. All right. Let's finish this video, though.
What I've said, it's not a threat against Israel. It's a threat against anyone. Think twice and always use the Chinese wisdom that if you dare to use a nuclear weapon against any other country, you may cause the demise of your own country. I hope peace eventually will prevail, sanity will come back, and Prime Minister Netanyahu should be halted from ever daring to think about using a nuclear warhead against other countries, because the consequences of doing so will be huge. And he himself and the government of Israel and the military in Israel will be considered public enemy number one for mankind. On the other hand, I think we all need to figure out.
When he's saying mankind, he's talking about the damn heathens. He ain't talking about Jake. He talking about the heathens. For the heathens kind, the heathens sake. All right, because the rest of these heathens not playing, man. And they possess these weapons of mass destruction, man, these ICBMs. And if they don't already, they're preparing, getting ready, man. China, or was it Russia and I think it's Russia and Taiwan starting to build a nuclear base. Let me see, Russia. Was it to Taiwan? Bear with me for a second. Nuclear facility. It might have been let me see. Oh, Vietnam. Okay. And here it is right here. It says Vietnam and Russia advance nuclear power deal as energy security concerns grow in Southeast Asia. All right. So it's pretty simple, man. Vietnam and Russia signed a deal to build a nuclear power plant in Vietnam as the Southeast Asian country revised its nuclear plans with hopes of boosting energy security while curbing green. Oh yeah, okay. Excuses. They're not going to tell you the real reason. Right? Why would they tell you the real reason? That would bring more attention and concern towards them. But we understand why. All right. Same reason why Iran is doing what they're doing, in which, or more so, it's the narrative that's being painted upon Iran because, they already have those missiles. They already have those. Those are devices, man. So, but yeah.
Why Israel believes it is in a position to dictate to the United States or even to order around how the US troops need to be deployed. I think it is right now the high time to expunge the evil as represented by Jeffrey Epstein and whoever who is with him. Now, this is a very important point. I do not want to go into further details. I think the evil as represented by Jeffrey Epstein need to be fully expunged in the world, including in the relations between Israel and the United States.
All right, so he basically talking about these fucking Edomites, man. All right, and it's beautiful, bro. It's about that time. This is the year of Esau Edom. All right, I think it's Edom being destroyed. All right, so this the year. Lord willing, this will be the year, man. But he, it's the Lord is upon this man to say these certain things. All right, because the judgment of Esau Edom is coming. And the Lord is putting His Spirit on these nations to display it and to push it out. This is Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai. All right. He is in the midst, bro. So yeah.
Does China have the files?
Well, eventually everything needs to come out to the sun. Let's wait.
And he said he was worried that Kamala Harris and Joe Biden were going to take us into World War III, okay? And now what do we have? Ben Gvir threatening nukes. And by the way, if you haven't heard, China and Pakistan have said that if Israel nukes Iran, they will nuke Israel. So here we are on the precipice of a nuclear holocaust because this baboon is in office and he's like, oh, Bibi, how can I make you happy? Can you please give me more money? Am I going to be a hero, Bibi? I can't stand this guy. And doing the exact opposite of what he promised.
Yeah, bro, this plays through, bro. Hey, so, Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. I know it was a little bit everywhere with it, but hopefully I brought out some type of edification into you, all right, into the hopeful elect. And in closing, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory with infinite blessings unto Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Recha HaKodash.